World leaders step up a force behind the scene at the UN to end the war in Sudan. World leaders intensified efforts to resolve the conflict in Sudan, making a significant moment with a newly agreed roadmap to end the war outbroke in April 2023. A joint statement from the US, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and UAE called for a 3-month humanitarian truce, followed by a permanent ceasefire and a transparent transition to a civilian-led government. Additional meetings were held by various international groups to further encourage negotiations and condemn foreign involvement in the conflict. The challenge now lies in persuading the warring factions to cease hostilities. U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres highlighted the urgent need for all parties involved in Sudan to seize external support contributing to the violence against civilians, particularly women and girls who are facing severe atrocities. The International Criminal Court had indicated that war crimes and crimes against humanity are occurring in Darfur, now dominated by the RSF, which has also announced the establishment of a radical government, a move that UN Security Council has condemned for jeopardizing Sudan's territorial integrity and worsening the civil war. Sudan's transitional Prime Minister Kamel Idris condemned the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) for engaging in systematic violence and called for their withdrawal from occupied regions, emphasizing the need for a ceasefire and a Sudanese-led roadmap towards stability. He outlined plans for a civilian government that would initiate national dialogue among various political and societal groups to pave the way for fair elections and constructive international relations. Meanwhile, Chad's Prime Minister Mai Halina highlighted the influx of over 2 million Sudanese refugees into Chad, urging the international community for assistance and advocating for a resolution to the crisis through peaceful dialogue rather than armed conflict. Sudan Prime Minister urges end to political chemical weapons sanctions. Sudan's transitional Prime Minister Kamel Idris told the 80th United Nations General Assembly Sudan's civil war has killed 150,000 and displaced 12 million. He urged lifting chemical weapons sanctions. He called political, condemned foreign mercenaries and demanded an end to the siege of Al-Fashir.
Our villages and cities have fallen silent under the shadow of unprecedented war, unprecedented invasion in the history of mankind. Our children have known fear before they have known the meaning of life. And yet, amid the ashes of war, there is a unique pulse that refuses to die. It beats in the refugee's quiet prayer, in the farmer who plants, though he may never reap, and in the mother who sings her child to sleep beneath an open sky.
Despite the international consensus on the illegality of unilateral sanctions and unilateral coercive measures which violate international law, these sanctions continue. They are imposed for political reasons, which threatens the values and bonds of international cooperation, international relations, and the rights of peoples to development, well-being, and the enjoyment of human rights, especially in developing and least developed countries. We are concerned over the political exploitation of human rights and their use as a means to pressure our country.
UAE is main backer behind Sudan war, intelligence officer tells Sky News in an exclusive interview in an undisclosed location. Sky News learns many of the planes landing in South Darfur are allegedly bringing weapons from the Middle Eastern country, something its government vehemently denies.
The war in Darfur never ended. It only intensified and spread across the country. Villages have been burnt and abandoned again and again in Western Sudan. From over 2 decades of terror by the tribal militia turned paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. We went to one of the remaining state-held towns in North Darfur. There's a nervous calm. The market squares are full of former rebels who've aligned with the state to fight the RSF and see everyone as a potential threat. We're in the heart of a town called Umbaro, which is held by state-aligned forces. But there is still a sense of fear and paralysis about whether the RSF could strike at any moment. The RSF has a sprawling network of formal soldiers and foreign mercenaries, but also of informants and collaborators. These fighters are the kings of this hill. In the early 2000s, they were the rebels, but not anymore. Now the Sudanese army uses them to fight a common enemy, the RSF. We went to meet an intelligence commander outside one of their key strongholds.
Our right to the land means we have to fight until our last breath.
Who is supplying these arms to the RSF?
According to our sources, the weapons come from the UAE. Chad is just a corridor for these arms to reach Sudan. Chad's Adre crossing was opened by the Sudanese government for humanitarian access, but the RSF have used it for inhumanity. That is where a majority of the arms are smuggled across.
According to his intelligence, supplies travel from Chad through the Adre crossing into RSF-held West Darfur. The Adre crossing is only one of 3 smuggling corridors the commander says passes through Chad. And further north, he describes RSF arms and supplies arriving at Chad's Amjeris airport and heading to their main base and supply hub in Zurug town. These are videos sent in by sources at the Chad-Sudan border. This one, he says, shows an arms delivery passing through the Adre crossing into West Darfur. There are no visible weapons or any identifiable branding. And these are land cruisers passing through the same crossing that he's told are painted in RSF colors and turned into lethal technicals. All of this, he says, is supplied by the United Arab Emirates. It's difficult to verify the location, destination, or contents of the vehicles in this footage, but UAE war machinery has been captured from the RSF during their deadly siege on North Darfur's capital, Al-Fashir. This video, shared after fierce battles outside the city, shows Sudanese state forces in front of burning armored vehicles. After comparing them to publicly available reference images, Sky News has determined the vehicles are designed by a UAE-based company. We presented the allegations in this report to the UAE's foreign ministry. This was their response. The UAE notes a marked increase in unfounded accusations and deliberate propaganda from the so-called Port Sudan Authority, one of the warring parties to the civil war, which actively undermines efforts to end the conflict and restore stability. We categorically reject any claims of providing any form of support to either warring party since the onset of the civil war, and condemn atrocities committed by both Port Sudan Authority and RSF. Publicly, the RSF has not acknowledged support from any external actors. But in an exclusive secret interview, an RSF intelligence officer from North Darfur confirms UAE support. When you speak to RSF fighters in the field, what are they telling you about the support that they're receiving from other countries?
In the beginning, it was the Russians, Wagner, and the state. Now, they say it is the UAE supporting the RSF. Many of the planes landing at Nayala are said to bring weapons from the UAE, and partially through the Amjaris airport in Chad.
Why do you think that the UAE supports the RSF? What's the mutual interest?
It's a financial relationship, no more. The RSF controls areas with large gold mines. Darfur alone has more than 4 or 5 gold mines, and the UAE is a gold trading hub.
After losing their 2-year grip on Sudan's capital Khartoum, the RSF tightened its siege on al-Fashir, hell-bent on capturing North Darfur and completing their control of the region.
They killed people and burned 49 villages down. They didn't leave anything for us, even the little we packed to take with us. They would tell us to leave. This is not your country.
You've come here and you found safety, but do you really feel safe?
I'm scared. There's no safety, even here. It feels they are just quiet because of the rainy season, but they've been threatening to come here to Umbaro.
These Darfuri villages and towns are ground zero for the RSF's scorched earth policy, now living through a dark deja vu, 2 decades on, raided by violent militiamen, more powerful and well-armed than ever before.
President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, sent a cable of congratulations to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, King of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the occasion of the Kingdom's National Day. In his message, TSC President extended on behalf of himself and the Sudanese people his warmest congratulations and sincere wishes of health, happiness to King Salman and further prosperity and progress to the brotherly Saudi people under his wise leadership. Member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Assistant Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yasser Al-Ata, inspected the wounded of military operations at the Military Medical Corps Hospital in Omdurman city. Prime Minister Professor Kamel Idris led the Sudanese delegation at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, attended by 193 heads of state and government. The session was opened by Ms. Annalena Borbok, President of the General Assembly, and Mr. Antonio Guterres, United Nations Secretary General, delivered his opening speech. Mr. Lula da Silva, President of Brazil, U.S. President Donald Trump, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of Qatar, and Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkey, were also present at inaugural session.
Marine tourism in Sudan is considered one of the flourishing sectors and attracts many tourists from all over the world to discover the marine island on the Sudanese coast, which extend over a distance of 714 kilometers. The Red Sea is famous for its many islands, natural beauty, and environmental diversity, including soft sandy beaches and islands. Among the most important of these islands are more than 120 coral reefs, 250 species of colorful fish, whales, rare sharks, rare birds, coral reefs, diving tourism, and enormous fish whales. Sanganeb Island is a Sudanese national marine reserve. The island is famous for its tremendous biodiversity, including numerous coral reefs, rare fish, whales, dolphins, and sea turtles, making it a global tourist destination and a favorite spot for diving and underwater photography. It has been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Features of Sanganeb Island. It's a marine reserve and the first marine in Sudan. The island boasts biodiversity and diverse array of marine life, such as whales, dolphins, and sea turtles. Unique coral reefs. The island is famous for its more than 120 species of coral, making it a paradise for divers. The island also contains the remains of historic shipwrecks such as Umbria, which sank in 1937. Sengeneb Island and Dungunab National Park are listed in eastern Sudan. Sengeneb is a prime destination for diving enthusiasts due to its clear waters and stunning biodiversity. The island's stunning nature and rich marine environment attract aquatic photographers from all over the world. The island houses an old lighthouse built in 1906, which is a prominent landmark in the reserve and one of the most important lighthouses in the Red Sea. The coral reefs in Sawakin Island are considered the part of the Red Sea reef ecosystem. It provides a home to a diverse array of marine life. It's home to numerous communities of microscopic marine organisms called coral reefs, plumes which thrive in warm tropical waters. The island contains a rich and diverse marine environment, serving as a home to countless fish and other marine life.
Tarsim types can be divided into two main categories. Types by purpose cultural tourism for tourists interested visiting historical and civilization, and the mark and the museum to understand the history and the culture of sport. Tourism is the concerts with the participation in sport activities, attending sport events, and educational tourism is space tourism. Tourism promotes culture, exchange, understanding, and peace among nations. Every year, September, World Tourism Day in the Athens, in the which countries highlights the importance of tourism. The celebration aims to shed light on two significant facts: tourism and global economic, political, and cultural levels. Countries work on developing tourism activity and offerings many packages to help citizens travel from one country to any the services possible. Tourism enjoys various landmarks and learning about each nation esteems on the traditional. Tourism also play major role in fostering dialogues between culture opportunities such as politic friendship, learning language, testing unique visitors in case with other community, and cultivating tolerance. One of the most distinctive features of tourism in Sudan is the abundance of weather surfaces and the water world. Sudan is considered one of the treasures of the African countries and one of the special gifts which the many tourism sites such as golden desert, nature reserve, botanicals garden, as well as vast tourism that attract visitors from over the world. Sudan combined breathtaking natural beauty with the roots history. This person is the helpmake is the one of the most beautiful Arab tourist destinations in Persian landscapes such as Wadi Halfa, a large globe of hills, mountains, in desert rocks, and Khartoum city. The Sudanese capital is the meeting point of the White Nile, and the city is the home to several museums and the Mugran district. Al-Fashir Sultan Ali Dinar Place Museum, one of the residences of Sultan Ali Dinar, it now serves as the museum, displaying artifacts, archives from various historical periods representing the culture of Darfur. Jebel Marra, located near Al-Fashir. The Jebel Marra mountains offer stunning slumber-covered ciphers in the fabulous lakes and the ecological diversity from experience for nature and the attendance lover. Cultures visit Al-Fashir hosts events such as the Camel Festival, where visitors can enjoy entertainment, show, competitions, music, and traditional performances.
عزاني